Hey, everybody. Welcome. I hope this is going to be a good use of your time. Today, we're going to be presenting an exciting new Microsoft product, Copilot Autonomous Agents. Um, Basically, an autonomous agent is an advanced form of AI that can understand and respond to inquiries and take action without human intervention. I also want to give a quick overview of the Power Platform and how autonomous agents fit into it and the capabilities and implementation of it, specifically for nonprofits and organizations working with nonprofits. But first, I want to give a little bit of a quick rundown of who we are and what we do. So BHFE Solutions is one of Microsoft's first partners in the intelligent automation space. We focus on low code and AI, and about 25% of our work is with nonprofits right now, and that's growing really quickly. We work with organizations of every size, from mom and pop shops up to Fortune 100s, um, tiniest of nonprofits to some of the biggest. And we really enjoy working in that space, both on the technical side as well as giving back to our communities. Quick introduction to the team. I'm Ray Ozone, founder of BHFE Solutions. I have about 25, a little bit over 25 years of experience in the automation space. And with me, I have Wei, who's one of our lead developers, Julio, who you've already met, our delivery manager, and Eli, one of our business analysts, who's dedicated to the nonprofit sector. So really quickly, BHFE Solutions is about making businesses work smarter, not harder. Basically, there's a lot of ways that manual processes and legacy apps slow down organizations, both for-profit and nonprofit alike. Without optimizing your processes, without automating where needed, without ensuring that your software and you're interacting quickly, seamlessly, and efficiently, you start to lose money. You start to lose customers. You start to lose donors. Things get very inefficient, and you start to make it tough to achieve your goals. So this is where we come in. As mentioned, I have about 25 plus years experience optimizing and automating businesses. Everybody on our team has 5 years plus with that. And basically, we are here to help you in this space. We'll help you guide your organization to become more efficient and make sure that you guys are growing happily and professionally. We have nearly 100% client retention after the first project since the day we have opened shop. We do a lot of good, especially in the nonprofit space. So I want to go quickly over the agenda. I want to go over a very quick introduction to the Power Platform. The reason why is because, as you're going to see, it can supercharge Copilot as well as your agents, and it works seamlessly with them. So we'll go over the components and use cases very, very quickly. Then we're going to give an introduction to Copilots and agents, and then give a live demo of how Copilot agents work, both on the use case side as well as on the technical side on the back end. We'll talk about use cases in general as well and how it works. Then we're going to talk about some special offers from Microsoft as well as ourselves, and then open up the floor for a Q&A. So basically, how can a nonprofit organization increase productivity, efficiency, compliance, pretty much everything that you see over there, um, as well as create apps and automations, streamline your processes, pretty much everything from fundraising to volunteering to recruiting, retention, pretty much everything. How can you streamline and optimize that? We work with a large number of nonprofits who are immediately seeing benefits and they're asking for more. So the answer to that is the Power Platform. The Power Platform is basically a suite of valuable tools to help your organization accelerate development with low-code apps and websites, optimize and automate processes with smart automation, create chatbots, utilize AI, display and organize your data in meaningful ways so you don't have to live on Excel all the time, and basically optimize your nonprofit. The different components of the Power Platform connect seamlessly to each other, and they can also interact with virtually any other application or platform using what they call connectors, similar to the way APIs do, but in a much more user-friendly way. So the Power Platform is low code, no code for the most part. So it's very easy to learn. It's very easy to build and maintain solutions in-house, especially those lower and medium complexity ones. And we're here to hold your hand if you do have higher complexity ones. So basically, it can help you spend less time doing those manual, repetitive tasks, spend more time doing work that matters, spend less time on the development cycle so that you can either build more or spend less on development. Gives you real-time visibility into that mission-critical data. And as mentioned earlier, everything is interconnectable through those connectors, as well as within the entire platform itself. So each component works seamlessly with each other, including with now Copilot and autonomous agents. So let's go over each component really quickly. The first one is Power Automate. Power Automate is basically a tool for automating repetitive tasks and workflows between Microsoft services and other third-party apps and websites. Think of it as like a ghost in the machine. You have desktop flows and web flows. The web flows are basically if this, then that on websites. If something happens on a website, you can do something. You can also interact with emails or anything else basically web connected. The desktop flows, as I mentioned, is the ghost in the machine. Your mouse and your keyboard are working on its own. So you're automating any computer-based, rules-based task, whether it's a desktop application, a web application, whether it has a user interface or doesn't, whether it's database driven, whether it has an API, pretty much anything can be automated with Power Automate. The next is Power BI. Power BI is a tool used for creating dashboards and reports that help you understand your data better. Basically, get out of the Excel and show your data, which updates constantly in helpful and meaningful ways. And if you look on the right, there's use cases for each of these, and we'll be happy to share this deck at the end of the presentation. The next one is Power Apps. Power Apps is a low-code way to help you build custom applications. Basically, there's ways to do it with low to no code whatsoever. It makes app development easy and accessible to everyone. These apps can live on your phone, they can live on your desktop, and we build many of these to help out nonprofits. I'll be happy to speak to use cases of this afterwards as well. And last but not least is Copilot Studio. Copilot Studio enables you to create and manage chatbots that interact with your customers or employees, with your volunteers or with your donors, whatever it may be, without the need to code. It can be siloed to only the data that you give it and can be fully customizable. There's many tools built around the security and verifiability of your chatbots, and we can have discussions about those at the end with the Q&A as well. This is where we're going to spend most of our time going in depth with the Copilot Studio, as well as with the agents that now work with it. So I'm going to pass the mic to Julio, who's going to talk about Agentic AI. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Ray. Sure, let's talk about agentic AI. Basically, today we're exploring this is a new frontier for artificial intelligence. This is a concept of transforming how we interact with technology. As Ray was mentioning, rather than simply automating tasks, agentic AI represents intelligent agents that can handle more complex workflows and adapt to changing requirements and collaborate with humans to achieve better outcomes. This evolution opens the way for more dynamic and efficient systems, moving beyond the limitations of traditional automation. But let's talk a little bit about what are agents, or in this case, what these agents are meant for and how they distribute based on complexity. These are intelligent systems designed to carry out tasks on your behalf. These tasks span from a spectrum from simpler to advanced depending on how you need. The simplest level, generation agents, can produce rich content, summarizes, create images, create audio, simply by feeding them with input form in the form of a prompt. Normally, what you can see, for example, in the ChatGPT or the DaVinci or any of those systems. Moving up, retrieval agents dig into data sources and surface facts, reasons over them, and answer user questions with precision. Normally, this requires you to submit information or to provide more input data rather than the prompt, meaning adding a file, adding an image, or making reference to an existing document on your systems. And the most advanced end, action agents execute workflows for you, automating repetitive tasks to free up the higher complexities. Together, these agents types empower to scale the knowledge work and streamline operation across the board. Let's take a closer look of an existing example. As you see, this is level yesterday because this represents a former way of doing automation, for example. In this case, it's an onboarding process. So again, currently most AI and autonomous systems are built to handle very specific tasks with clear defined inputs and outputs. For example, in this case, as I mentioned, as a process on HR onboarding may be automated, but it typically limited to simple rule tasks such as sending emails or verifying documents. The system often fail to adapt when things go off script, and if an unexpected situation arises, here we see an example on how RPA automated predefined steps, but the flexibility to adjust to evolve needs is very limited. Now let's take a look of how could we do this in the newer world. This is called today because looking ahead, the AI agents offer a transformative approach. Unlike traditional systems, AI agents can manage more complex workflows and adapt to real-time information. Notice here how tasks like document verification, IT provisioning, and even training can be handled by AI agents. But the critical distinction is that humans are still involved in key decision-making moments. This hybrid model ensures that while automation is improving efficiency, humans retain oversight and control, which is really important for us. Let's talk briefly about the initial interaction or the initial stages of the onboarding process. Engagement with new hires through a virtual assistant provides a personalized welcome and gathering initial data to tailor the onboarding journey. The AI agent makes decisions based on the information provided by the new hires to customize the onboarding experience immediately or close to real time. Next, on the document verification, which can also be automated by RPA, but now we're going to augment that, it facilitates the submission and verification of documents by assessing the completeness and accuracy. It learns from each interaction, recognizing common errors or missing items, and adjusts its feedback to help new hires to correct issues quickly. Then, on the training path selection, it analyzes the new hire's role, experience, and learning preferences to recommend a suitable training path. The AI continuously learns from feedback on training effectiveness and adjusts the modules to better suit the new hire's needs, ensuring optimal learning outcomes. Lastly, on the feedback and adjustment, it gathers real-time feedback from new hires regarding their onboarding experience. It processes this feedback to identify patterns and trends, enabling it to make informed decisions on necessary strategies, adjustment to improve onboarding process for future hires. Lastly, on the ongoing support, it continues to support the new hires beyond the initial onboarding phase, answering questions and providing resources as needed. The AI agent utilizes ongoing interactions to refine its support strategies, ensuring continuous improvement and employee engagement and satisfaction. So basically, it offers you a coverage from end-to-end perspective on the onboarding process, and it keeps learning by itself. Okay, but let's talk about the promising, even beyond efficiency, value, and advantage. What these agents are bringing to the table. Well, let's take a look on how automation and AI capabilities have evolved over time to bring more efficiency, value, and strategy advance to business. Starting on the left, yesterday, technologies like RPA focus on completing tasks on repetitive tasks such inputting new hires information into HR systems. These were efficient for structured, rule-based workflows, but limited to specific functions. The next step was the introduction of chatbots, something that we are familiar, which were able to answer simple questions. For example, what is the dress code of the office? They add value by improving user engagement and providing immediate response, but still lack the ability to take meaningful actions. Moving to today, we see the emergence of new capable AI systems. A single agent, for example, it's supervised by a human, where needed, can not only answer questions but take actionable steps, such as ordering a laptop for a new employee. This represents a significant leap in value, enabling organizations to streamline and automate more complex processes. Finally, the most advanced stages that we are seeing today, for example, in this workshop, is the multi-agent systems. These agents, such as HR systems, IT, and training agents, collaborate to complex tasks to span multiple domains. For example, onboarding multiple employees by specific deadline require coordinations on several departments. Human supervisors remain on the loop to ensure quality and handle exceptions, but much of the process is automated, providing unparalleled efficiency and scalability. The trend is very clear. We're moving towards a future where AI not only supports you, but also it takes actions and actively drive cross-functional collaborations, unlocking new levels of efficiency and advance for businesses. Let's talk briefly about the key applications of AI agents, where you can basically apply some of these new technologies, or where do we see, for example, nonprofits to use this information. Okay, AI agents can transform nonprofit operations by boosting efficiency, ensuring accuracy, and elevating satisfaction across the organizations. Today, we are going to look into four areas and see how tailored AI workflows can augment your teams and strengthen your missions. Let's start by talking about program and service delivery. An AI-powered volunteer matching agent, for example, can review profiles, gather skills and the availability, and automatically pairs volunteers with the right roles, sending confirmations via email or Teams. And then we can also have a service eligibility screening that guide clients through a dynamic question and answers to determine program eligibility to schedule next steps. While, for example, a grant finder's copilot autonomously search grant databases, curates opportunities, and draft application outlines. Again, these are just three examples in the program services delivery. Donor and support engagement, for example, the donor sentiment analyzer evaluates incoming emails, chats, and social media posts to gauge support enthusiasm and concern and advise on how optimal tones and timing to outreach. A recurring donation recovery bot, for example, identifies Lip's monthly gift and sends personalized reminders. Here, with, for example, an event invitation agent, it can target invitations based on given history and locations, track RSVPs, and automated follow-up for maximum attendees. Let's talk now about operations and administration. For example, we can even create an onboarding meeting prep assistant, compliance agendas, um, do financial KPIs, and program metrics into polished brief packages, freeing leadership to focus more on the strategy. Meanwhile, for example, if we create an intelligence intake coordinator, it validates housing, foods, and job service applications in real time and route them into a database, for example, like Dataverse or SharePoint. Also, we can also have a volunteer's hour verified that can confirm logged hours, update CRM records, or issue thank you messages when needed. In the last category, let's talk about grants and fund management. We can create a grant reporting assistant that can pull data from, for example, Microsoft Dynamics, SharePoint, or even Excel to autofill further templates and flag mission metrics before deadlines. Also, a budget relocation notifier, for example, can monitor expenses against grant roles and alert management about when limits are approaching. While a founder engagement bot track communication can, search in the communication history and nugget staff to send timely updates depending on funders and relationships. In general, or in summary, you can see that by embedding these AI agents into your nonprofit workflows, you can automate routine tasks, reduce errors, enable staff to devote their talent and strategic mission to critical work. The result is a more responsive, data-driven organization, one that can deliver services faster, also can nurture supporters more effectively, and management funds can be managed more confident. Together, it can harness the intelligence system to amplify your impact and drive your mission forward. All right. So now that we have discussed on how to implement, let's also discuss what are like the success or what are like the foundation that you should consider, for example, when implementing one of these bots. Because of course, with technology, there's always about responsibility. When developing an AI agent, there are four critical considerations that must be addressed for success: knowledge, actions, security, and evaluation. First, providing agents with the right context or knowledge ensures that it understands the environment they operate in. Second, Equipping them with the right tools and capabilities enable them to perform the necessary tasks. One of the most important part, which is security, is a paramount. Agents must have only access to the resources they need to be protected against misuse. And lastly, the evaluation part, it ensures that the tasks are completed correctly and allow the performance optimization. Addressing these areas form the foundation of effective AI. Something that definitely, we recommend you to consider when approaching any of these automations. To consider these four actions, and again, be mindful and responsible when, and technology is embedded into your systems. All right. So now let's jump into a more interactive part. So for today, we have Wei Fan. Well, as Ray mentioned, is one of our lead developers. He has prepared a live demonstration of an agentic AI system that will give you more glimpse of how these are basically working, not just from the front end, what your end users will look, but also a little bit what is built for, how the behind the scenes systems and technology looks like. And again, with that will be more interactive for you to again grasp on the concept of agentic AI. So let's move on to Wei Fen.
Thank you, Julio. I'm going to take over the screen, and I'm going to first explain a little bit about the scenario that we're going to cover. And of course, all the questions and everything will be answered at the end. We have a Q&A section in the presentation. So I'm going to start with the scenario. So pretty much, as you can see on my screen, I have a Power Up, which is a very basic volunteer intake application. So as you can see here, I can click New and insert basic information about the volunteer. And you will see at the top a couple of more buttons that you can use. You can automate information, you can create reports, dashboards, and so on. But this is just a power up, right? And we're talking about Copilot. So as Julio mentioned, Copilots yesterday were pretty much just chatbots where they can grab information, but now they can take actions, right? So jumping back to the agentic AI or autonomous copilots agents, pretty much in this demo, I'm going to have a copilot inserting information here by asking the correct questions in natural language to the user. And that's just a simple use case. But remember that this is just a power up, but it can be a legacy application in a computer. It can be any third-party application. Of course, they need some kind of APIs, or we can also interact with Power Automate Desktop, right? So we can interact with multiple data sources and make or give the correct accesses to the copilot, to the agent, so it can enter the data, retrieve the data, and everything. I saw some of the questions there on the chat about connecting to different applications that can be done here. We have multiple connections here in the actions. So you can see here, I can search for, I don't know, I'm not sure if we have SAP, and there are a ton of actions here in the library. For some reason, we have to search them, but we have them there, and we can connect to Power Automate for sure. Power Automate. So in Power Automate, you can automate everything, get data from everywhere. So the idea of the autonomous agents, as I said, is that we can give them permissions to do everything, right? And they can understand when to use each of those actions, of those connections. So, okay, I'm going to open here at demo website where we have the Copilot or the agent. And let's imagine that this is your website, and you have here like a pop-up, and you open the Copilot. So it will be asking questions for the intake, right? So it started with this question. Do you want to be part of the volunteers within the organization? I can just put yes. So it will continually asking questions based on the information here, right? So it's going to ask me the name, the email address, and everything. So I'm going to put my name, my email address, and then my phone. I'm going to put just numbers here. Of course, we can do validations, but on this Power App, we don't have any set of rules right now, since it's just for demos. But we can for sure put validations like for the phone numbers, but for the email addresses, the agent already knows when an email address is not valid, so it will tell you. So now it's asking me for days, so I'm going to put that I'm available on Mondays for that. And then some skills, and I can put like, I am good at organizing documents. So the Copilot will grab this text and standardize it with some tags. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you that in a bit. So preferred location, I'm going to put Brooklyn, and that's it. So if I go back to the Power App, but remember, it can be any application. It can be third party. It can be a desktop app. So as you can see here on the interests, it put organizing. I just put organizing documents, but it standardized it. How? If I go to the Copilot and I go to the actions, and this is the action where we put all the information, right? So you can see here all the properties, name. So I just put a simple instruction in one line. So that means that in order to create these agents, you don't need any like set of coding experience. So as you can see here, the name. So I just put a description, which will be like this, the instruction for the agent to do, or in this case to ask. So it's asking for the full name and storing the name with the proper case, like capital letter in the name and in the last name. The email, valid email format, phone number. I just put as for a phone number, since we don't have like any set of rules like country code and everything. And interests, I just have here, as you can see here, I just put an example here, like I'm good at with organizing shelves. So it would put like organizing or inventory. I put also to store the inputs in comma separated list in case we have multiple skills. And preferred locations, the same with name. If I put New York, everything in lowercase, it will put it correctly, right? And availability, if is based on the current local time and of the person. So if I go back to the overview of the agent, you can see that also I told them which is the purpose of the agent itself. So it will know like the context of the questions. So as you can see here, I just put like It will guide volunteers through a structured intake conversation, and it will collect their responses and save the data. And then we have the general instructions, which will be like if like the step by step that the agent should be doing. And in this case, as you can see here at the very beginning, it will call the action volunteer. But of course, if you have multiple actions, like each of the actions is a different use case, you can put it there, and the Copilot will understand which action to take based on the inputs of the user. So at the very end, here in the actions, you can see also I have a description for the action, where is yeah, it's pretty much the description of what the action is going to do. So it's like another prompt for the agent to understand when to use it. And yeah, you can see here also in the channels where you can have the agent deployed. In this case, I was using a demo website, but it can be on any of these platforms and also these ones. And here you see that there's a risk on my agent. That's because it doesn't have authentication for this demo, but you just have to change the authentication to I don't know, to Microsoft SSO or something like that, and it will be good. But also, and to finish with this demonstration, you can add knowledge sources, and that's more for generating answers. So if you want the agent to answer questions, like Julio mentioned in one of the use cases, like answer questions or policies or onboarding stuff, you just have to add the knowledge here. You have multiple sources, of course, public websites. Also, you can connect to third parties as well. You can upload documents. And yeah, pretty much that's it, what I have for the demonstration. So you can ask any questions on the chat, and we will be answering them at the very end of the presentation. So I'm passing the microphone to Eli, I think.
No, I'm just going to jump in for one
Oh,
second
sorry.
with a little bit of shameless self-promotion over here. So there was actually a lot of good questions in the chat. I'm not going to have any agents sell your car's extended warranty. That was pretty funny. But yeah, there was a lot of good questions in the chat as well as in the Q&A. I'm going to save a lot of these for the end because they actually are really good, and I'd love to cover them in more detail than just typing in the chat for this. So stay tuned and we'll talk about that. In terms of shameless self-promotion, I'm going to keep this really quick. We really do help nonprofits a lot, especially with AI and automation, and we really are making an impact. So I just want to show really quickly what we do. Basically, we can help you discover your use cases in order to take advantage of the Power Platform and AI and automation. We can also help you standardize and map those use cases. We provide development, so we could create these automations for you. We can create custom agents, bots, etc. for you. We do nonprofit. That's a great question. Thank you. We do provide training for nonprofits for AI and automation. The bottom left quadrant over here. We have curriculum-based trainings, hands-on trainings, hackathons, etc. We also help you depending on your size and what you need to do, create pipeline as well as set up your security and governance around these, because everybody is concerned about that. There are many ways to secure these bots. And then we help you set up your center of excellence, which is basically a team of internal people by your organization that we can basically create into the evangelists for the automations and for the AI. Basically, train you onto how to discover use cases, how to secure them, how to administer them, how to build low to medium complexity ones in-house, how to communicate with other business units in order to show them what can and can't be done in this world, and also how to communicate with us so that we can help you build the most robust automations and apps possible. So basically, we work with organizations of pretty much every size in pretty much every industry. Like I said, we are working a lot more with nonprofits, and it's a very quickly growing space for us. And I would say now over 95% of our initial clients are staying with us for long-term engagements, and they're very happy. And we'd be happy to have you guys as well. So I'm going to hand the mic to Eli now for a moment where he can talk about some promotions that are going on with us as well as with Microsoft. And then I'd love to have that Q&A with everybody. Eli?
Thanks, Ray. So BHFE is excited to announce a special promotion going on in partnership with Microsoft right now, where once qualified, your nonprofit can gain access to free professional services such as needs assessments, where we help you identify key challenges and opportunities and propose tailored solutions using the Power Platform, as well as things like custom demos and more. There's no requirements or commitment on your part to sign up. And in fact, everyone watching this right now is already pre-qualified for a free needs assessment. This is a fantastic opportunity to explore how Power Platform can bring you value with no financial commitment involved. Many nonprofits have already benefited from this offer, discovering unique ways to unlock their full potential. So if you want to learn more and sign up, please visit our website or contact us directly. We'll also hang back after the Q&A to take signups live. These workshops quickly should send you to reach out as soon as possible to reserve a spot with us.
You seem to have been breaking up there. Is everybody able to hear Eli?
It broke for like 2 seconds, on the last part.
Sorry about that. I'll just re-say what I wanted to say. So if you wanted to sign up, you could just visit our website or contact us. We're also taking signups live after this call. But I do encourage you, if you want to sign up as soon as possible, because spots fill up pretty fast and we have limited availability per week. So you could feel free to leave your email in the chat and we'll reach out after the call. I'd also like to briefly mention 2 more exciting offers regarding Microsoft licensing. So right now, all nonprofits are eligible to receive up to a 75% discount on the majority of Microsoft licenses, including D365 and Power Platform. We're also offering a special rebate on all Microsoft licenses purchased through us that can be used towards any of our professional services, such as development, training, migrations, and more. So please contact us for further details. We'd now like to open the floor to questions and take any signups for the free needs assessment. If you have any questions, you could simply type it in chat, or you could raise your hand and we'll unmute you. If you're interested in the needs assessment, you could leave your email in the chat and we'll contact you right after. Thanks for watching.